Hey guys, Freddy with Team Illuminati here. Just going to bring you a quick deck profile on something me and the guys have been messing around with. It is a red-green discard deck, and it's been pretty fun in testing. Does pretty good into almost everything except aggro. Aggro is kind of a hard matchup for it, but yeah. Without further ado, let's just get into the profile. So to start, we have 4 copies of Diablo. One drop inkable, 1/2, quest for 1, and on play you get to look at your opponent's hand. Knowing what your opponent's playing and seeing the lines that are probably coming up in the next few turns is really key to knowing how you need to play out your hand. So hand knowledge is always great, and he is also a shift target for the 3-drop Diablo that you'll see later. Um, Next we have 4 copies of Cursed Merfolk. He is a 1-drop uninkable quest for 2, and when he is challenged, your opponent has to discard a card. So helps with the discard strategy and helps you get to 20. So pretty good 1-drop to have in the deck. But that's all the 1-drops, just 8. Um, so next we'll go into the 2-drops, and probably the best 2-drop for green is Ursula Deceiver. 2-drop inkable, 1/3 body, quest for 1, and on play you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard a song card of your choice. So great into other discard matchups, great into steel songs, red blue. If they're running songs, you just take them from their hand and keep moving on with your game plan. So really good card. Last in the 2-drop slot, there's only 8 2-drops. So we have 4 copies of Flynn Rider, 1/2 body, quest for 2, and has the same effect more or less that Curse Merfolk has. So it helps with the discard strategy. Less cards in your opponent's hand. You want to dwindle their hand down to nothing so that you can do what you want. And he quests for 2, so you need a little bit of lore pressure in these kinds of decks. So good help there. Next we move into the 3-drops. Probably I guess it's an argument now if it's the best three drop for Emerald. We got 3 copies of Diablo, 3 cost uninkable, 2/2 body, quest for 1. You can shift and discard an action card to play him. He's also evasive, and whenever your opponent draws during their turn, you draw a card. So he's your primary draw engine if you can get him down and make him stick. Sometimes you just run away with games with Diablo alone. Great card. Not much more to say about that one. So, but to contest him in the three drop slot for best Emerald 3-drop card right now is Prince John. Prince John is becoming more of a menace each set that comes out, and we'll see if he sticks around before rotation. Maybe he gets banned. I'm not sure. Some unhealthy game gameplay goes on with him. He's a problem. It's all because of that ward tag. So he's a three cost uninkable 1/2 body quest for 2, has ward, and whenever your opponent discards a card, you may draw a card. Um, it's a discard deck, so that's your opponent is losing card advantage and you're gaining card advantage at the same time. Combo's really nice in green steel, but we're trying it in green red right now, and it's been pretty good. Um, he's I want to say your secondary draw engine. You kind of try to set your Diablo up, but Prince John, he most of the time becomes your primary draw engine. So I guess it's up for debate who's the better draw right now. But that's it for the 3 drops. Next we got a new card. We got 3 copies of the new Chip. He's a 4 cost inkable 3/2 body quest for 1, and he's another discard card. When you play him, your opponent has to discard a card. So if you play Prince John on 3 and your opponent's on a steel deck, they go Pete, no actions, and you have Chip in your hand, you're like, okay, no problem. Ink, play Chip, you're still discarding and drawing a card. So keeps the strategy of dwindling your opponent's hand down to nothing so that you can do what you want. Um, and he's a 3/2 body, so he can trade into a lot of things. That's it for the fours. Next we'll go to the fives. There's not many of these either. We have two copies of Goofy. He's just a 1/4 inkable body, um, 5-drop, quest for 3, has ward, and whenever he quests, chosen character gains ward until the start of your next turn. So he helps protect your Diablos and anything else you want to stick. And he also quests for 3, so get closer to 20. Some of these discard decks, they're a little slow to get to 20, so he kind of helps in that department. And when he comes down, unless he's getting big C-suit or B prepped, you're going to get 3 lore and give another character ward. So it comes in pretty clutch, at least from testing. Next, we got one copy of Lucifer. Another discard card, 5-drop uninkable, quest for 2, 2/2 body. And when you play this character, your opponent has to discard either 2 cards or 1 action card. So when they have 1, 2 cards, maybe 3 left in hand, this coming down on 5, single sudden chill, you just rip the hand to shreds. And there's unless they top deck like a god, the game's pretty much locked up when Lucifer comes down. You don't have any way to bounce her, like in green purple, but when you play it, you pretty much locking down a game. Next, we need some sort of removal, so we have 3 copies of Maui, 5-drop inkable body, 6/5 has rush and reckless. Just there to take out cards on the field that go sideways that you don't want to deal with anymore, and he can sing your 5 card songs. So, great card. And then the last character card we have is Maui Shark. 6-drop inkable, 7/5 body, evasive, and whenever this character challenges another character, you may return an action card from your discard to your hand. We have a ton of actions in the deck. He's really, really good if you can get him to stick. Mm, checks your opponent's boards, especially in aggro matchups that you kind of struggle going into because you don't have a lot of punching power in the early turns. But if you can get a Maui Shark to stick, he can do a lot of work and then bring back whatever action you want when he banishes a character. And he also gains a lore for every action you play. So really good card. He's kind of your boss monster toward the end game. And that's it for the characters. So we'll move to the actions, and I'm kind of just going to break them down into discard actions, removals, and um, more or less tech cards. So we'll lay them all out first. And this is the discard package, I'll call it. So we have 4 copies of Sudden Chill, 4 copies of Undermine, and 4 copies of Hypnotize. All of them discard a card from your opponent's hand. This is the only one that's a song. These 2 are both actions. So this is the only one that can be sung. Hypnotize also draws you a card while your opponent discards a card. But the new card, Undermine, has been really clutch in testing. So chosen opponent discards a card, and then you choose a character to gain 2 attack. So this helps in the early game when you play like an Ursula, or you still have like a baby Diablo, or any low punching character in play. You make your opponent discard a card, and then you boost up one of your low powered characters that normally wouldn't be able to take something out, and they probably quested. Now you can with this card. Um, it's been really, really clutch, and you can always get it back off Maui Shark. You can get any of these back off Maui Shark, but I really like this new Undermine card. I think it's really good, and it can't be taken away from opposing Ursula Deceivers. So you can ink your Sudden Chill if you have both in your opening hand and you know you're playing against Emerald. You ink the Chill, keep the Undermine, and the Undermine's been really, really helpful. Uh, Probably my favorite green red card that came out this set. So that's the discard package. And that's 12 different discard cards. So you're usually always having one of these in your opening hand to start your draw engine and apply the pressure on ripping your opponent's hand apart. So next we'll go with the removal cards. We have 4 copies of Brawl, 1 copy of Wrong Lever, and 4 copies of We Don't Talk About Bruno. So Brawl, just a great card at removing early threats that you can't out because, like I said, you have very low punching power, and sometimes you need to out like opposing Diablos, aerials, mm, any problem cards that early on that you just need to get rid of. Mostly singers, but you need some Diablo answers too. So everyone knows Brawl. Wrong Lever, new card. It's an action, 3 cost, inkable, and it has two effects. So you get to choose one. It's return chosen character to their player's hand, or put a card named Pull the Lever from your discard on the bottom of your deck and put chosen character on the bottom of their player's deck. We can't play the other card Pull the Lever because that's locked into green purple. But this is like an inkable Mother's knows best that can't be ripped from Ursula Deceiver. So just testing it out right now. It has been helpful, but um, hasn't come up too much. Usually the other discard pack cards that we went over, or Maui's and Maui Sharks, take care of what you need to. Um, so on the fence with this one. Last we have We Don't Talk About Bruno, 5 cost, inkable, and you return a character to their player's hand and then they discard a card. So this is a pseudo discard, but it's a hard removal too to get rid of opposing sharks or anything that you can't out. Normally, like I said, this deck doesn't have a lot of punching power. It really just relies on Maui Shark and normal Maui, human Maui. So can be sung by either one of those, and also can be brought back with Maui Shark from the discard if you kill a character. But this effectively becomes like your 16 different discard cards. You know, you got 12 base ones, and then this is like the pseudo one. So you have a lot of ways to discard your opponent's hand, and it could get really oppressive. So that is the removal package. And then last, I'm just going to go over some tech cards. So since we're running Maui Shark, why not play 1 copy of Pirate's Life? It is a 6 cost sing together song. Action, each opponent loses 2 lore and you gain 2 lore. So if you have a shark in play, sometimes you can hard cast it, gain 3, they lose 2, shark goes in, kills something, and then gets this right back. So next turn you have it again. Or you can sing it together with whatever characters you have in play. But just there to close out some games or keep games within reach so that you can turn the corner. Great card. And then last, we have 2 copies of Hidden Cove. The only location in the deck, 1 cost inkable, and when your characters are moved here, you get +1 attack and +1 willpower. Just a great card. Helps protect your Diablos early game if you can get them down. Like I think it's on turn 2, so like you would go turn 1 Baby Diablo, turn 2 Cove, shift Diablo, move Diablo in, and so that he's a 3/3 and he can't be brawled. Just make your Diablos more sticky. So really good in the early game. Even in the late game, sometimes when you need to make some trades with Cove, and then, like I said, the Undermine card comes in clutch a lot, giving you an extra 2 willpower if you can get them off in the same turn to really boost a character to take something out. So, um, yeah, you know. But that's the deck. It's been fun. Like I said, it struggles into aggro, but everything else, it's pretty fair. Can you can play pretty well into Amber Steel songs. Um, Blue Red is a little iffy if you can't get their whole hand away. Gotta do some more testing into that. Into Green Steel, which is all the rage right now. It plays just fine into it. That matchup's really just play draw dependent. Sometimes you can bring a game back, but Um, I think it's whoever goes first and is able to take more cards out of their opponent's hand before the other one is gonna win that game. Um, but yeah, just a quick thing that me and the guys have been messing around with and wanted to show to you guys. So we'll catch you next time.